first time I did a double live stream in a little while. I got Legends and Tales of Josie Wales channel and my other channel, Preacher Pale Rider. And I was talking to Tammy, one of my moderators, a minute ago, and we were just having a great conversation about like what happens when you die and different things in the Bible and stuff that about the afterlife. And we decided, there she is, that maybe bring it on here and talk about it because it was actually getting really interesting. We different theories, what happens. Hey, how you doing, Memory? And Tammy's over on the other channel. Let's see who's on what. Tammy, I think you're on Pale Rider, and hang on one second. I think Memory's on the other one. No, Memory is on Pale Rider, and you're on Legends. You're doing well. Good deal. Did you work today, dude? Let me turn this off so I can say some. Legends, all right. Did you have to work or did you have off today? $13 today. It's good on the paycheck, but I tell you, that kind of shit burns you out. At least it's not hot, dude. Well, there you go. I see one notification went out. Maybe we'll actually get some people on here today. Both channels at least have one person. Now, it'd be nice to get, a handful of people on both. What? Hard on the body. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the heat. And it's going to happen again, man. Next week, or not even a few more days, heat wave coming again. I barely made it through the last one, It literally, I couldn't fucking do shit for like 3 days. I felt like someone just drained me of all my energy. I'm not young anymore. And I used to handle the heat pretty well. Because the old saying, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, I work in restaurants. And I'm starting to feel like it's time to get the fuck out of the kitchen. And it's hotter than I ever remember, this early on. We didn't used to get heat waves until like August, if I remember correctly. Dog days of August, they used to call them. Now it's hitting us earlier, and somebody out there is going to be like, see, that proves that, the global warming doesn't prove shit, dude. It doesn't, because next year it might be cold. Who the fuck knows? I don't think that proves anything. I think most of that's BS. Tomorrow they want me working 16 hours. Damn, what the hell are they trying to burn you out, dude? What's going on with that? So, you know what? I wouldn't complain if you can handle it, because I think at any moment everything's going to get shut down. Where are people going to get gasoline for their cars? It's about to run out. And once that starts running out and diesel runs out, you can't get groceries to the store. Restaurants won't have food there delivered. Grocery stores won't have nothing. Pharmacies, all that shit's going to come to a screeching halt. And I don't think anybody's really talking a whole lot about that and how devastating that's going to be. It's kind of scary, Wait a minute. Solar maximum. Yeah. Yep. Tammy said solar maximum. Yeah, it is. There's like sunspots or something that are actually exploding. Pieces of the sun or trajectory are coming right off and heading towards, I guess you call them solar flares. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But anyway, I think it's end times myself. How you doing? Who's that? I'm having trouble reading that. You know what? I think I got my glasses for once. Hang on. Hopefully I brought them. Yeah, I do. Brand new Dollar Tree glasses. Right here. Just need them for reading. Get the damn paper off the damn thing. One second, I'll be able to read that. Okay, here we go. Sticker on the damn thing. All right. What's 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Holy shit, dude. What happened? Did a bunch of people quit? Who's that? Somebody said hi. I want to. How do you say your name? Diogene Den? No. Where are you from? I'm just going to take a guess. Are you from maybe India? Because I do have a lot of subscribers coming in from India and over in the... Wait a minute. You're going to be burned out tomorrow. Yeah, that's a lot of hours, dude. What's this? Hang on 1 second. Tammy's writing something over here. Meaning we are closest to the sun as we get... So next year will be better as we get away from the sun. Well, I kind of said that, and I didn't know the science of that. LOL. My glasses are Dollar Trees too. Bought a week ago. Laughed my ass off. We have the same pair. Yep. Great minds think alike here. It's kind of trying to get the John Lennon look, with the wire rim glasses. What we got here? Apparently people are calling in sick. Some having to take their shifts. I'm wondering, is there something going on illness-wise? Or are they figuring something's coming soon? I'm telling you, I'm wondering if literally over in Russia and Ukraine, they're standing in gas lines, mile-long gas lines. And Russia had a lot of gas at one point. I know there's a war going on, but maybe we're next. Maybe we're going to be out of gas real soon. I think, but I'm not sure. That someone said, will Trump dig into the military reserves for us? I think I heard no. And first off, how did we ever get in this position? You know what I'm saying? Did we bite off more than we could chew? Why did he feel we had to be the policeman of the world and go over there and just get so tangled up in this damn thing that now he can't even talk peace with them because he just bombed the shit out of them, killed their leaders and everything. I don't know how you fix that. See what I'm saying? There's resentment. And, if that happened to be us, we'd probably feel the same way. So it's not going to be the art of the deal. See, Trump's had it easy. He was very good at talking and convincing people in the past, but I think people figured him out or whatever. I think it's getting harder for him, and people in the world are changing anyway. You have no clue, I guess, on whether people are calling out because they're sick or not. But again, at any moment, and how's SEPTA going to run its business if, there's no fuel? You know what I mean? You're with SEPTA, right? Is that who? I don't even know. I guess are they electrical trains or what just in general? And they're talking about power grid failures too during this hot weather. They said watch for, I forget who was it, Ryan Hall or something, that there's going to be probably rolling blackouts and power grid failure. And I say this every damn time I'm talking about this, we had 50 years to fix that, and they didn't do a damn thing. And I'll tell you why. Because the people that are in charge want to stay in charge, and they need us to lean on Big Daddy government. So they need us vulnerable so they can pull a switch or flip a switch, and we're screwed, and we got to come crying to them for help. And that's what they want, because then when they got the chokehold on us, they can just say, oh, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and we're getting rid of paper money, and you're going to get a chip in your hand or whatever. That's where I think it's going. I could be wrong, but it looks that way to me. I got a lot of years under my belt living on this earth, and I think that's where we're heading, What's it say? Yes, SEPTA. Paychecks will be great, at least. Yeah. Providing they ain't gonna screw you. What if they decide? Wait a minute. What's this? Something just came through there. Can't stop. Wait a minute. I couldn't read that. Uh, Something just came through. Something's going on in the world. Let's see. Did you see the shoe factory fire in China? No, I didn't. But you know something? They were saying there's a shit ton of stuff burning up here and over there, and chemical plants burned up half a year. I think it's been a stealth attack with direct energy weapons taking out China's stuff, and China's taking out our stuff back and forth. But they're acting like, must be that global warming, or they're not willing to admit they've been probably stealth fighting. Nobody's admitting that they're doing shit, because too much shit's burning down, and there's no way that's all coincidental. No way. And you're nuts to think it is. That's the thing that kills me. People want to say, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, guess what, dude? You're the one that's crazy, that you can't see all the numbers adding up and equaling, the final results. Look around. Was there really 75 trains derailed in that much of a time? That just was an accident. Like I said, I've been around for a long time. I've never seen the shit that happened and nobody questions it. To me, that means the elites of this world are attacking us in a stealth mode. And when I say us, I mean the little guy, putting hurt on us, and they're fighting over the power, whatever's left, mineral rights or whatever the hell else they're going to be fighting over. Oil's almost gone right now, but now they seem to want lithium and everything else that's coming out of the ground. What's that? Boss told me 60 hours work, least. Huh. That's it. Do you see? No, the shoe factory. Nah, I didn't. But that's the thing. A lot of factories burning down. There's no, eventually, where are people going to work? It's not just all about weapons burn. Just their whole economy's being destroyed. There's nowhere to work eventually. Things are closing down. The economy's crushing things. Eventually, we're going to be in some deep shit, in my opinion. Prove me wrong. We're heading down a really bad road here, in my opinion. What's it say? It's crazy. It's right. I mean, here's the next thing. Talking about China having that shoe fire. Okay, they got a hot foot. Burned up their shoes. Well, what about over here? Our junkyards are catching fire every other day, burning up all the junkyards. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, why are they doing that? Here's why. Because they want to get rid of all our combustion engine cars, all the old cars. They don't want you to be able to go retrieve anything out of a junkyard to keep your car on the road. They want to sell you a 2026 vehicle that they can track you and basically steal the rest of your rights away with cameras in your face, seeing if you can drive the car. If your eyes look a little bit funny or you seem nervous. Well, what if one of your loved ones just passed away or went into the hospital and you're upset and you're trying to get to the hospital? Now your car won't turn on. And not to mention, even if you get going, let's say a cop sees you go by, his plate reader, because they're reading your tags, decides that you have something, a warrant or something, kills your car, literally stops it, okay? What if you're on I-9, Interstate 95, and there's a tractor trailer behind you, and now you're fucking crushed underneath it because they decided to turn it the hell off, and it rolled to a stop, and you see what I'm saying? Shit is getting crazy. And all these flock cameras, who's that? Yo, what's up, Shake the Stars? How you doing? Good seeing you, dude. Thank you for stopping by and seeing you for a little bit. Trying to read these, caught up. What's that, Tammy? Okay. And you know what I mean? I just see it as there's so much shit going on. We're in trouble. And people, I think it's so big, people just ignoring it. Nah, I can't do anything about it. I wouldn't completely ignore, I come on here and say stuff all the time. The other night, someone said, well, dude, we're going to call you Mr. Positive. Yeah, I'm positive we're up for an ass kicking here in a minute. You better get on the ball, that's all I'm saying. There ain't much time left where you can sit back and relax like nothing's happening. Pretty soon there won't be any food. You better start learning if you can. It might be too damn late, but grab up a couple of books on how to survive off the land, whatever. I would start doing whatever. If you sat back and didn't want to deal with it, you might want to deal with it now. Even though pretty far into the game here, might be too damn late. I hate to say that, but what's this say? Wait a minute. So how's the weather down where you're at there, Shakes? Because it's humid as shit. You're down in Maryland or something, right? I'm up in Delaware, man. It's humid. We just had some rain earlier, and we're heading into another heat wave in the next few days. That last one felt like it wanted to kill me. Yeah, of course, I have no air conditioning in the car. I work in restaurants, okay, so I'm around hot ovens and stoves. Hop in my car, hot, black interior, so the sun's sucking it all up. And then I go home and there was no air conditioning. Boy, that's a prescription for fucking death. That'll kill you pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I don't like that. I'm trying to fucking cool off, so I do the old poor man's air conditioner, turn these fucking windows down and drive 60 miles an hour, try to get some wind in this bitch. But I can't even deal with it anymore. Back in the day, like I was saying earlier, I used to not be bothered too much by the heat, but I can't stand being in a hot kitchen anymore, or even a hot car, or for that matter, anywhere hot. I'd rather it be cold right now, But I still don't say that it's all, global warming. And if it is, you know what? If that's the case, then you don't go after the guy that's driving down the street in his Toyota or, turned on his fan at home. You go after the factories that are doing the shit, billionaires. Okay? Don't bother the little guy. His 2 cents worth of fucking electric isn't doing nothing when you got billions of tons of shit getting burned up. India and China, they're burning coal and stuff still. You know what I mean? That ain't great for the thing. And it pisses me off. That's the little guy always got to pay the debt. You know what I mean? And, even when they pay taxes on, they put the taxes on the little guy for the gasoline. They just pass it right on down the lane. And these guys are making a killing hand over fist off of the sales of oil and have been for decades. And it's passed on to us. And we're already paying a ton of, paying a ton of out for all kinds of shit. I got to put this on all messages. All right, that's that one. Hopefully I didn't just mess that up. Wait a minute. Why is it? There's no writing on that now. Wait a minute. Okay. I don't know why it just did that, but now I don't have any text on my side on this channel. Come on, YouTube, stop fucking me around. Let's see. That's ridiculous. I wonder if I put it back on the other one. Now they screwed this live stream up. There's nothing on there. Can you guys see any text on my, what channel is that? I think it's my Legends and no, it's my what do you call it? Preacher Pale Rider. I don't know what happened there. Unbelievable. There's no text. Hey Tammy, can you do me a favor? Hop over to the other the other live stream for a second and see if you can text or see if you can put some writing up in there. See what happened. I don't know why. I went to put all chat and it's nothing's showing up now on that one. Let me see. Automatic chat transition. What's that? I don't know what the damn, I can't even. Let's see. All right, nothing's coming up. Well, they ruined that part of the live stream. You guys can still listen, I guess, if you can hear me over there. But I can't see anything anymore. This happened to somebody the other day on a live stream. I think it might have been Under Duress. Evidently YouTube, this is a new game they're playing. They seem to like to just smash the shit out of somebody's live stream. And one time you might not have any audio. The next time you don't have the chat. It's always something. And you wonder, why the hell are they wasting their time? Unless something I said got too close to something that they don't want out there. You know? It's a shame. So if you want, and you're on the one channel, you can hop over to Legends and Tales of Josie Wales. And you can chat over here. I don't know what happened there. I must have inadvertently done something. What did? Okay, did you go over there, Tammy? And it didn't work because I can't see anything. There was nothing. Could you see any chat when you were over there? You could see the chat. Now, why can't I see the chat? Oh no, you couldn't see. Okay. It's horrible. Wait a minute. It's horrible. Trash truck is supposed to take it. Yeah, they're fighting over who's going to take the trash or something. Just fuck. Why don't they just fucking do you a favor? Nobody's there. Yes, I saw chat. Well, it says there's 5 in the chat up there that I can see. So I feel bad if they want to chat, they can't, but they can still listen, I guess. Or again, if you have something to say, jump over to Legends and Tales of Josie Wales. It's the other channel. Same thing. Wait a minute. Okay. I saw something come across the screen up top, but it was just for another YouTube channel. But this channel, what the hell does that say? Format changed. See, yeah. What do you mean it changed? It's doing something different. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not even doing anything. YouTube's just AI once. That's kind of screwed up. So if it starts here with just YouTube and then you notice it, you know, you make a phone call and it's screwed up, it's run by AI, or the DoorDash app is run by AI, and hundreds of other things are run by AI, store pricing. What happens if they decide, well, maybe AI better be in control of our, you know, our nuclear weapons, since it's, you see what I'm saying? And it'll be start launching shit. AI ain't this great thing, evidently. If it can't fucking handle, you know, and do a YouTube channel without fucking it up, because that's not human intervention doing that. There's something wrong. AI's fucking shit up. It's called out where they're guilty on it. Let's see. Went for the women. What's that? Went from like Bonnie's. Looks like a short. Oh yeah, it changed up. I don't even know how that happened. But you seem to like that format better, and it seems like I don't read that. But it's nuts. It's nuts. And we got, what do we got over there? There's 6 people over there at least still. So I'm going to keep talking, and you can hang around and listen, I guess. But it's kind of sucks that they keep messing with it. Wait a minute. What's that say? The city of Philadelphia is AI. There's no humans to even report city. Yeah, exactly. Issues. They used to do that when COVID was around, and I was trying to get my unemployment or whatever it was. I guess number one, there was like money coming for, I guess there was stimulus and all that. You had nobody to talk to. You couldn't go down. You could talk to a recording, or it was a pain in the ass. And now AI is more involved in everything. And the reason being is they can just cut you off, and AI doesn't give a shit. There's no humanity there. They don't care. It's going to say, well, that guy got screwed. Let's fix this. No human being's going to help you out. You're just hanging in the wind. And the fucking rich love that. The elites, they no mercy. You know, they want to squash us. That's what's going on here. I'm just going to dump in the dumpster near me. Yeah, and then you'll probably get fined or something. And if you throw it out on the street, you get fined. You can't win, you know? And that's a breakdown in society. And I blame it all on AI. There's nothing's working right, you know? What's it say? 100%. Everything is getting fucked up, and nobody seems to care. And like I said a moment ago, there's no heart, no compassion for nobody. You know, the elderly, you know, they're talking about rolling blackouts and people, you know, their electricity getting turned off so they can go feed that electricity to the monster, the data center, you know, a few miles down the road. Now, they don't give a shit that a human being could be roasting to death in their house. They don't care, you know. That same human being's been paying taxes their whole life, and you don't give a shit? Well, you know what? I don't give a shit about politicians. Maybe would have turned the fucking heat up on them or shut their power down. You know, they're all living in mansions. And basically it's coming from the money people. That the same way they would treat their employees, they're trying to treat every citizen. So you have nowhere to bitch, nowhere to complain, and nowhere to get any help. And the system is going to keep squashing people. You know, that's basically what's going on, in my opinion. What's that say? Flock will report you. Yeah, right. That flock camera shit, they're tiptoeing around that. When I hear law enforcement, I don't hear too much out of them. It's the company and the other things. I'm not hearing the cops come forward and trying to stand up for that, because they deep down they know they're breaking the fucking law. They're there to stop people from breaking the law, right? But they're breaking the law. And what law is that? It's the fucking law of the land, the Constitution. They're not allowed to keep tracking you and following you. And you have a Fourth Amendment, and they should honor that and not be doing that shit. And it's just a form of harassment. And they're just trying to find any way to get revenue. This is the kind of shit you do over communist social credit scores. That's where we're going. And I don't hear anything. Why is Trump allowing this? Why isn't he raising hell about that? If he's in love with America, like he says, and hugging the flag and MAGA this and MAGA that, well, you know what? The citizens are getting fucked here. You want to step forward and try to fix this? Fuck that war over there for 5 minutes. Come back over here and fix what's going on. We're being fucked over. You know, it's bullshit. Our tax money goes to put money in those fucking politicians' pockets. Their wages get paid by us. No representation from them. What's that, tyranny? Is that what they said 200 years ago? 1776. What was it? No what's the hell's that say? They spy on you. Yes. So they can control you. That's exactly the truth. It's all about control. I'm drawing a blank. I can't even think of that saying. No representation. It's tyranny. Taxation without representation is tyranny. Don't know why that slipped out of my head, because I've been saying that one a lot. You know? You're paying taxes, okay? You fucking have invested interest in what's going on in this country. You're one of the owners. Each and every one of you owns this country, whether they want to admit it or not. As long as you're paying your fucking taxes and you're willing to go out and do what you got to do, and some of you are dying out there on the battlefield, yeah, you're invested in this, and they should fucking be taking care of us a hell of a lot more than what they are. They're screwing us, and people are tired of it, you know? What's it say? Yeah. flock camera shit. Even there's a cop up in where is that? Up in Rhode Island. That's basically coming clean and saying, yeah, they're going around the law. Wait a minute, what's going on with this one? Hang on, something came through there. It just said an emergency. Iran is on high alert, and Trump is getting ready to do it. Something's about to happen. They're probably going to drop a nuke in there because the gas is no longer flowing, and everything's going to come to screeching halt. Should have never got like this. And I'm not just talking about what Trump's doing now. I'm talking decades. They could have got off the gasoline or had another way to travel, you know, that people would have something to fall back on. All of a sudden, everything's going to go to a screeching halt. And it's all because money, money, money. The oil companies bought up any patents that came along for any other way out of this bad situation. Same with the fucking electric. The electric grid is going to get blown out. And they don't care. They don't give a shit. That gives them more control because the government has plenty of fucking transformers and plenty of generators up in Cheyenne Mountain or wherever they're in their bunkers and everything else. That when the shit hits the fan and we're out here for a month or two with no electric, no food, then they'll be the hero. They'll come rolling out with army trucks and supplies, start handing it out looking like the good guy, trying to help us out, draw us all in, take us to wherever they're going to take us to. Basically, it'll be some camp or something, and they're going to take care of us until they can get us back on the feet, and then we're fucked, okay? Then they're going to give you an option. Yeah, you can join the new system we got, the new money system, and get a chip in your hand and be part of that, or not. And if you say, no, I'm not doing it. Okay, then we got this other option, option 2. How much do you care about your head? Because that motherfucker's coming off. You know, because they'll cut your head off. Just like the Bible says, you're going to be beheaded for your belief in Christ. And eventually I think it's going to get to that point. Maybe down the road when we're deep into tribulation. Because we're definitely in end times now, in my opinion. You know, what's this say? There's no privacy. You can go to the bathroom, you're being watched. Exactly. I mean, they got cameras everywhere. Are we really that frightening to them? Only now are people getting so pissed off that we should be frightening the shit out of them. You know? People are tired of it. And they keep trying to take more of our freedoms. And enough's enough. You know? What's that say? They're taking our rights to take care of ourselves. Right. Because they want big daddy government to be in charge of you. They want you to feel like you're an infant. And that's the way they talk to us. That's what they don't even get. We don't even know what laws they're passing in the middle of the night behind our backs. When people are sleeping, they're in there doing their agendas. Hell, we don't even know who's guilty down on the fucking island, Jeffrey's Island, because they won't even tell us that. You know, is there no honest people in the government that want to bring that forward, or is there just too many scumbags that are probably going to kill the ones that are trying to go after it? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing's so corrupt. I don't even know where to begin, you know? It's ridiculous. A whole den of fucking vipers. They need to sweep the whole fucking bunch of them. I don't trust any of them. I won't even vote anymore. I'm done voting. The only one I vote for is Jesus going forward. It's the only one I can trust because they're all lying. I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene for a minute was going to be a whistleblower and all this, and she turned around and started doing the same thing Nancy Pelosi did. She was young and you know, supposedly seemed like she wasn't yet um, what do you call that? Basically affected by the, blackmail and the bribes. But evidently she's caught up in it too. You know, everything is so fucked up, and it's sad. So I don't know what to say, but I feel like coming on here and talking some days like this because you can't say or do anything. Everybody's sitting here. Might as well have duct tape on our mouths because they're going to try to make it illegal for you to bitch. Well, fuck you. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep bitching because, we have rights. Yeah, okay? My father fought for this country, went through traumatic hell, World War II, and suffered. And many, 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 many other people did. And they deserve to be remembered by us fighting for our rights and our freedoms and not just letting them rip up the Constitution in front of us. Screw that. You know? I don't know. What's it say? They're taking... Yeah. It's frustrating because I don't see it getting much better. I think too many people are afraid to say anything, and it's just going to keep going along to get along type mentality. And you look at a lot of third world countries where they're risking their lives to stop the bullshit. Okay, even in China, there's people going on strike and just lying on the fucking ground and not going to their job and just basically doing anything they can because they had enough. And there were actually a lot of them working in, for the iPhone companies and all these other big companies over in China, tech giants over there, whatever. And they had I forget who it was, they had to put nets outside the building to catch the people. Were literally jumping the fuck out of the windows to commit suicide because they were nothing more than a slave. They wanted to die. They were tired of it. Okay, well, that's what's coming down the road to us if we don't stop it now. There's still time to maybe do something, but everybody's got to get involved. And even if it's only just with talk, do whatever you can do, because this it's a fucking nightmare coming at us. And again, the other day, someone jokingly said, you're Mr. Positive. And yeah, I'm positive that they're going to fuck us up if we don't start speaking up. Yeah, I'm positive, all right. Because I'm a person who's did a lot of reading in history. And, one thing I learned from history, it repeats itself. Especially when people are trying to be ignorant of it because they don't want to fucking know what happened. They're just going about, looking at what's in front of them, what possessions they own, and what things are, Bitcoin and this and that, and they don't see that their rights are getting stolen, and they're worrying about shit that is almost irrelevant until you get your rights back, I can't even express what I'm trying to say. We're in some trouble, that's all I'm going to say there. Anyway, let me see this for 1 minute. Wait a minute. Trump assassin. What the hell? Just got another breaking. Trump assassination plot exposed. Iran vows no American soldier something. I can't even read that. We already knew they were going after Trump. But again, distraction. Oh, this is distraction. They probably won't get him, and it's just more shit being said, because what they're going to do is probably explode a fucking nuclear device over here somewhere and have something worse than a 9/11, and then we're done, because everybody will be running to fucking go back to Big Daddy government and letting them take control, because we got a big crisis. They love to say that word, crisis, everything. Yo, what's up, Fred? How you doing? How's the weather out there, Fred? We just had some rain. I know you're out in Indiana, the corn capital out there. Corn and what else you got? Cornfields in the southern Indiana. That's what it says. Um, I'm just ranting, dude, because it's just sickening, you know. And I hope that enough people will start speaking out, no matter what happens, because otherwise, if you go quiet, we're done. It hasn't rained here for a week. It just rained today over here, and we actually had a flood warning. Of course, I was out trying to drive in it at first to do some door dashing, and I had to stop. It was ridiculous. It was raining so hard. Pop-up flash floods all across the... Yeah, right. So, NextRad and what's the other thing they're using to fucking... A lot of this is manipulated weather, you know? It's obvious to me. What's that say? All right, you read that. Anyway, I noticed that YouTube... No, number one, where did my fucking text, my chat go over here, YouTube? All right? What did I hit over here? I don't see anything on there they just fucking took my text off there. Every damn live stream, there's an issue. It pisses me off. You got an alert. What's it say? It's a tornadoes warning. And Amber Alert missing teen. Yeah. That's the next thing. Amber Alert's missing kids and everything. Does anybody even give a shit about all the kids that disappear? And why is our government not doing anything? Don't they have flock cameras? They can't happen to catch any of these kidnappers on any of them? How come there's nobody getting busted for that? You know what I mean? Hundreds of thousands of flock cameras going up. They're not using them for anything other than to just spy on us and, basically shit on our world. How about doing something good with them then? Unbelievable. Exactly. All the cameras and nobody sees anything. Exactly. How in the hell's that happen? We got a corrupt government. What's it say? I can't read that. A bus full of kids disappeared once in the camping trip, and they can't find them. Yeah, that happens. That kind of shit happens more often than we know. They're probably trafficked or killed or something. Maybe the elites had them using their organs or whatever. They're all into that, trying to go for the youth concoction or whatever you call it, where they think that they can hold off death. That's that whole... What is that gland that they've been... what in the hell is that? It's for adrenaline. That they're getting high off of it. They're literally killing and frightening the shit out of children and drawing a chemical that's released. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I probably sound like I'm crazy if you have no idea, but and I can't think of it. What is the name of that? The one guy just got killed a little while ago was talking about it. It's like adrenaline, but Tammy, help me out there. You know what I'm talking about. Adrenochrome, that's what it is. I beat you to the punch on that. Usually you're pretty quick with that, Tammy, with that covering my ass when my old brain goes, senile for a moment. No, but adrenochrome. They somehow tap in, and that's that whole thing from Epstein Island that was supposedly drawing that off of them. They frighten the shit out of the kid. There's a gland, adrenal gland or something they're tapping into, and they're making a drug out of it, and they're getting high off of it. That's not make-believe. They're actually really sick assholes doing shit like that. It's a vampirism of a different kind. Not to mention they're probably also drinking their blood and doing a lot of other fucked up shit, you know? And yet none of them are getting caught. How is that even possible? If they do, they end up dead so they can't talk on any of their other. In other words, if they get a hold of somebody, it's never the head leader, it's some small fish. And as soon as they're about to talk, they're dead. They're wearing concrete shoes and they're sleeping with the fish, you know? And that's only because the fucking powers that be, they're involved in all this. It's the truth. I don't give a shit what anybody says, but they're looking the other way. Obama had, what was that, parties where they had the code words. What's that? Hollywood and Washington are in it. Oh, the guy, exactly. Obama paid like $50,000 for a hot dog party or something like that in Washington. Some crazy party they had, and it was code word, you know. Bunch of sick assholes, you know. What's this say? Yep, nobody seemed to give a crap. You're right. And that's the scary thing. People have lost their humanity, and you can tell. They don't care anymore. If a 9/11 type attack happens again, we won't be the same country we were the last 9/11. People were helping each other. People were out collecting money for firemen that died, and all kind. People gave a shit. Now everybody's ice cold. No, and it says that in the Bible. Their love will wax cold in the end times. They're basically falling away. They don't care no more about anything or anyone. Self-love. It's a selfishness. And that's basically what's really wrong. Nobody's got any room in their heart to give a shit about their neighbor, their family, nothing, you know? It's sad. It's really sad. What's this say? Yeah, Hollywood and Washington, they're both corrupt, and they're both going to burn. Watch. I'm predicting Hollywood, probably a massive earthquake is probably going to take that whole area out because there's such sick shit. And you look at, what's his name? The kid that's, he's not a kid anymore. I think he's older than I am by a year or a year or two younger than me. Corey Feldman. You know, I don't think he was making that shit up when he was talking about shit happened to him. In fact, I know he wasn't, you know. And it's just that he probably could only say so much because they were probably threatening to kill him. These elite scumbags are doing shit to children, and they need to fucking pay for their crimes. All right? They're messing people's lives up. It's not like you gave them a bad day and they had a bad day because you fucked with them. No. You fucking ruined people for the rest of their lives if you did the shit that they're doing, you know? And nobody gives a shit. It seems like it because they should be hot on the trails of these scumbags that are getting away with that whole Epstein thing. And it's quiet. You hearing anybody talking about it anymore? I wouldn't have let that go. They should have been after that like a fucking pit bull after a fucking T-bone steak. They should have been going after them motherfuckers. Getting names, doing whatever. And okay, you don't want to show it? We're going to go dig it up ourselves. We're going to go find all the evidence and we'll put it on TV. And just let the people serve the justice. Because people want to kill these motherfuckers at that point. You know? It's unreal. What's it say? Even your neighbors are shitty. At least mine are. Yeah. There's no care anymore. You know, people used to, someone died in your family, someone come over with a casserole, another neighbor come over with a pie. Nobody gives a damn, and that's sad. As a matter of fact, people can't even look people in the eye anymore and talk to them, you know, about anything, you know. They text each other, and it's getting more and more away from our humanity, and the elites want that. This is what I was saying earlier, is they want AI to take over because there's no sympathy, no mercy, no nothing. When something happens, there's no humanity in fucking robots, all right? They're not going to help you out or do anything. back in the day, people used to do that for one another, and that's how we survived. It ain't there anymore. You know, what's it say? Your mom's neighbors are good. Yeah, there are some people, and I'm generalizing, but there's a hell of a lot of people that just don't care, or maybe they're afraid to care because they see how sick it's getting, and maybe they're afraid to become a target from what's it say? My parents' neighbors are nice, but they're very religious too. Too religious. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people are better than thou. They go to church, they think they're better than you or this or that. And the fact of the matter is this: um, God forgave the thief on the cross next to Jesus. You know why? Because all he had to do was say, "Remember me when you get to your kingdom, Lord." And that's all we got to do. Believe in him, and that's it. That's not a hard road to walk. Ask for forgiveness. And a lot of people don't want to. They're living in their sin and they're loving their sin. And that's what's wrong with the world, you know? I'm sorry, I'm just ranting, dude. I'm just saying whatever's hitting me in the head and just putting it out there. What's this? Yes, sir. So you agree with me, huh, Tammy? Things are really off the charts. What do we got up in there? It's saying that there's nobody, is that right? A big goose egg up there, and yet I'm seeing text coming across. This says there's 2 people, and the other one, there's no text, no thing. That's why they erased it. So try to shut you up, thinking, oh, there's nobody on. Why don't I just end the live stream? Fuck it, I'll just keep talking. YouTube's trying its best just to keep people from, speaking. And that's how they keep everybody in check, and where they won't fight back or do anything because they're afraid of what other people would think. Here's the deal. I don't give a shit what other people. I know right from wrong, and we need to speak up when shit's going on, and don't let them, push you into silence or make you feel, what the hell? I'm getting hit with all kinds of, it's all kinds of things coming across up the top there. We need to speak up. That's basically what I'm saying. Like here. Oh, it says that there's 8 people in there. All right. At least I got some people in there. And sometimes it says big goose egg, but then I'm getting like text. Not today, I'm not. They took that down. If you break down on the side of the road, no one stops to help. Yeah, back in the day, man. Matter of fact, I still do that. When I see somebody, I ask them if they need a jump. People won't even jump your car. Even I'm like, hey, my car's not working. I got jumper cables, and here's $5. Oh, I gotta go. Maybe they think it's a scam. Somebody's gonna rob them, and I can't blame them, in a way, because that does happen. But it's sad. Shit's getting really sad. Unless they mean you harm. What's that? If you, yeah. I don't know. You have to have faith in God that God's going to take care of you. And if he didn't and something happened, maybe it was your time to go and God's bringing you home. That's the way I look at it. You're better off, go with your instinct. If something doesn't feel right, I get it. But we drifted so far off of where we were as a nation, America used to give a shit about each other. We the people. I don't see that anymore. There's just me the person, Yeah, I mean, everybody's so self-centered and selfish and worrying about all their possessions and everything. Well, you can't take none of it with you. But you know what? If you're out there doing good, that'll go with you to heaven if you're going. Because God sees all. And if you're helping people and doing things and giving back, you're going to get rewarded, Simple and plain. What's it say? Remember wait a minute, truancy? Is that what it's? Officers, people cared about and questioned why you weren't in school. Now no one cares. It's a school student in school. Yeah, exactly. Because you know why they don't care? Because they're trying to dumb down our youth, and they're teaching them nonsense shit. I saw something the other day. I couldn't believe it that they're going to start teaching, and I wish I could remember what. Oh, thank God it came back. You know what it is? Ebonics is going to be a course. I think it's in Ohio. There's a school going to start teaching Ebonics. Why? It's improper English. Why are you trying to keep? Oh, we got to keep dumbing down. Okay, go and work your way up into a job where you're dealing with CEOs and big mahafs, big people, and start trying to talk Ebonics in there. See how long that flies. No, you're dealing with people that went to Harvard, Yale, but you want to dumb down all the other people. You know what? Here's the deal. How about just teaching the people who need to be taught? Don't just ignore them. Take the tax money that's going into the fucking schools and doing whatever you want with them. Actually teach them. Teach them things they need. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, for instance. Not the 72 genders and, if you're feeling like a cat today, you can go shit in a litter box and all's well. That ends well. No, the deal is that they're teaching nonsense. And kids are coming out of school twice as confused as going into it, It's ridiculous. All that woke shit, Waco, Baco, They don't even have to smoke the pot and they're high on the fucking, just from the, nonsense. They don't know up from down, Stupidity. They can't count change even, okay? They don't even teach them how to break a dollar and give you the proper change back, because you go into a store and kids working the register, 9 out of 10 times he's going to sit there for 5 minutes counting on his fingers or a calculator or hit a computer button. That should be done right up in here, the old brain box. That's why God gave us one, and kids can't do it today. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? It's willfully keeping people ignorant. As long as they're ignorant, they're not questioning how much money you're stealing out of the tax bin and 100 other things, or where the other children are disappearing to. If everybody's dumbed down, they don't realize this shit. They're not asking questions. That in their mind is a safe citizen. If you start asking questions, you're a problem. You're a problem child. They need to fucking address that and shut you the hell up. Throw some duct tape over your mouth and keep you ignorant. What's that? Doesn't the Bible teach? What the hell is that say? Oh, marriage before sex. Yep, you're right, Tammy. In other words, there's morals went out the fucking. Once they took God out of everything back in the day, the nation was based on, God, Christianity, and now they took, they don't want to have the 10 Commandments out front. You can't. Why? What's so wrong with the 10 Commandments? Oh, it's a religious idea, and it's no, it's basic moral guidance as well. That even if you don't believe in religion, it's just like do not murder. Thou shalt not do. You know what I mean? When you go and look at that, there's nothing really wrong with what they're saying. They're telling you not to commit crimes in so many words, Yet they took all that shit out because Satanists wanted it out of there. And Satanists are now running everything. Yeah. What's this other thing? DeWine signed in a law to teach marriage before sex. Okay, so he's trying to bring back a little bit of moral compass. You turn on YouTube, and there's young girls that are just, back in the day, we used to call them sluts. Now they're proud to be sluts. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. They're doing something to the moral fiber of our whole country. Everything's all fucked up. And it's not just the young girls. The young men are doing shit too that are it's fucked up. You know, there's videos that are promoting violence as something good. You know, we live in a fucked up time. I'll tell you what. What's that? I read that. You know what bothers me? I've been on here for a while, and I can't get no feedback because they won't let me see who's on what they're saying over here on the other one. There's nobody able to text her. I can't read anything they're sending. On the other channel, I got it over there. Now, why in the hell, like I said, there's only one reason why shit like that's getting messed up all the time. They're just trying to shut everybody up that's questioning everything. Under Duress channel the other day, he was saying, like, it was saying that there was, the end of his YouTube video, there was like, what did it say? He had 0 views, but 5 thumbs up. You know, and that happens, you know, you wonder, well, how the hell is that even possible? How could you have like 0 views or 3 views, but you have more thumbs up than there were people in there? Maybe people putting both thumbs up. What the fuck are you talking about? None of that makes any sense, you know? And the statistics are bullshit, but it goes along with everything else in society. Yeah, politicians are lying to us everywhere. You can't escape the bullshit and the lies. You know, being real about it's just everywhere. You know, saturated in horse shit. Yep. Anyway, I'm looking at the time on this thing, and I've been on this for an hour. I think I'm about ready to kill it because I can't even tell if anybody new's coming on. So, you know, they're not sending out any more notifications. Wait a minute. Yeah. What's that? Our world is crippling. Yeah. Yep. It's the truth, dude. What's it say? It's better that litter boxes in the classroom. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Instead of teaching a child how to use the toilet, you know, that should have been done, you know, when, you know, you're a toddler before you send them to school. So, okay, so they didn't learn, but because they're a cat now, they go shit in a litter box in a public bathroom. Disease doesn't matter. You know, you just got feces lying everywhere. Okay, he's a cat. That'll happen, you know. It's fucking crazy. Nobody questions the crazy shit going on in our world. I can't understand what the fuck happened, you know? Yeah, I can. I said it a minute ago. They took God out of everything. They took morals. They took everything that was good and throw it out the window. And when you got a vacuum of, you know, in rushes demonic bullshit because we have no right or wrong anymore, you know? Anyway, I think I'm going to hop off of here. Thank you for whoever's in here. Appreciate you guys. And if you could, how about subscribing to both channels? That would be Legends and Tales of Josie Wales, because they're trying to suppress that one. And over here, actually, on the other one, the Preacher Pale Rider channel. Thanks for hanging around and listening. I see there's 6 up in there. 5 thumbs up. Thank you. You know what? That makes me feel like hanging even a little longer for you guys, because I couldn't see anything you were writing, but you know what? I'm going to hang another 5 minutes and just keep talking. Go back to the whole thing with the flock cameras. I wanted to say one more thing about that. There's a cop up in Rhode Island that did the right thing. He was a whistleblower. I don't know if I said it earlier today. He's out there, and his fellow cops are probably turning on him. So he did something that was unpopular, but he did the right thing. Nobody does the right thing hardly anymore. So that guy ought to be congratulated. He's a hero in my book. That's a cop you can trust. He said, this is wrong. We can't have, you know, we're going to spy. And the problem is, the freaking cops, some of them are using it to spy on their ex-girlfriend, the flock cameras and shit. It wasn't meant for that anyway. And actually, we don't need that damn shit in our lives anyway. you should have the right to be able to travel without someone tracking you 24/7. You know, it's harassment, and yet they keep doing it. So for someone, I want to find that guy's name out. I think I'm actually going to call that police department, or no, he's no longer a cop. I think he, had to resign or got out of there. And I think everybody ought to call and say, shame on you for not backing him up and wanting him to stay put. You're working for the other side. If you're fucking thinking that it's okay to just do what you want and morals don't count, right and wrong don't count, then why are you wearing a fucking badge? Okay? They're supposed to be, by theory, we were supposed to look up to them. That's what I was taught when I was a child, that they were out there doing good and doing right. Well, not like that. If you're throwing your own kind, you got somebody that actually stood up and did something right, and you're throwing them under the bus. That means there's a lot of corrupt cops, in my opinion. But I'm thankful that there's at least one out there that did the right thing, and there's actually more than that, I'm sure. And I'm hoping that inspires other people to step forward and start ratting out these rotten-ass cops that are doing criminal activity. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what's going on. They got nobody, there's no checks and balances anymore. Even Congress and the Supreme Court and all that, they're all doing what they want. They're back in the day, used to vote on shit. Are they still doing it? Like Trump just writes executive order, and Congress does this and does that, and the Supreme Court writes something. It feels like we don't have the same things we had back in the day. That's what I believe anyway. You guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging around. I appreciate you. And hopefully I see that you subscribe in here. It'd be awesome. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, Memory. Thanks, Tammy, for coming by. And anybody else I missed over here. I think Shakes the Skies was in there, or Shake the Stars. And sorry, I don't even see any of your text or whatever, the chat over here. But try again next time. Hopefully YouTube stops playing around, because I can't figure out. I didn't touch anything, and I just went to check something out, and it went like that. All the text is gone. I can't bring it back. You know what I did? I actually went to hit all text, meaning originally it was just the top. YouTube decides what the top text is, that they'll let you see that. Who the fuck only wants to see half of it? I want to know whether, get some feedback, because otherwise you can't build your channel, not realistically. So they don't give a shit about you being able to build your channel, or they would give you all the real statistics and stop playing games, because you can find out whether you're connecting with people and whether they, will come back and whatever. And from there you can build your channel. But if you don't know the truth on the statistics, then you could keep doing the wrong things or whatever. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Thanks again. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. And let me turn this one off. That was Legends and Tales of Josie Wales and Preacher Pale Rider. Hope you guys subscribe on there.